So guys, welcome back to another deck profile. This time I'm showcasing a deck which is a bit of a throwback for me. It was actually the first deck that I really ever built, like actual deck that I first ever built. And that deck is Blackluster Soldier. Yeah, it's pretty weird, right? Not that good of a card, some may think, but the thing is, when this guy is summoned, you can banish up to 2 times, then loop 1 card from the hand. He does true damage, he floats, and he can attack twice. So that's just in 1 card. So I thought it was good to at least try to make a deck with a new support. And well, this is what I came up with. So let's start by getting into the main deck monsters. So first, of course, we have 3 BLS. Now, Super Soldier. Now, this feels largely correct. Because you want to see this guy as much of the time as possible. That's the problem with this deck, is it has been hard to get to your actual monster. And you aren't playing any Ritual Searchers beyond the in-archetype ones in this one. So therefore I play 3, but you could conceivably play 2, because if this guy is in the grave, you can still summon him like back again and again. So you don't need to have him in the hand. Therefore, conceivably, you could play this guy at like 2, but I decided to play 3. And then we have 3 Alistair. Yes, we are running an Invoked package. Of course we are. This is my deck after all. The thing with this guy is that he can add himself back to the hand, which combos well with another card we have. He puts bodies on the field. He's a level 4 dark, so you can use him with the spell as well. The summoning spell for the BLS. And yeah, he's just good. I mean, it's a 1 card mecha buff at least, so, you know, why not play him? The best available starter that I can think of, or the best available normal for this deck. He beats, mind you, in terms of power, way better. And we have 1 BLS. You could conceivably up the number of this, but I decided to play 1. I think there are a lot of chaos cards in this deck, and drawing multiples of them isn't that good. If you can break on them conceivably. So just play the 1 IMO. Play the 2 Chaos Dragons. They're amazing. Even with the new card I gotta show later. I mean, it's a stupid card, which I've already shown on this channel. It's a spell card. You probably know it by the name of Chaos Space. It just makes these guys busted because you can draw so much. Plus, the fact that you end with 1 in the hand means that you can use them with Super Soldier Synthesis to send 1, so low 4, and then you just dump 1 of the Evening or Twilight Night from the deck and, like, yeah, combo. Same idea here with Valkyrie, is that it can be sent from the hand to send for Synthesis. It's a good summon, easy. You can use it in the grave if you banish it with Alistair for a Mechaba, so that's also pretty good. And then we play 2 of each of Beginning Night and Evening Twilight Night. So this is the one which is best going first, and this one going second can be pretty good, but if you get both, then you're good to go, man. So basically, the idea here is that this one, if BLS is Ritual Summon using this, it can banish target one monster on your field per turn, banish it, and you can banish a random card from the hand. And if you summon with this one, he can banish target one monster on the field, banish it, and he can attack twice. So if you use both, then he can banish 2 per turn. He can banish 1 from the hand, and also attack twice. Now, on top of his regular effects of doing true damage, it's pretty insane. So we run this at 2. I think it does get a little bit bricky otherwise, because they don't really do anything if you don't have any combo pieces to play with them. They're not a starter. So therefore I play 2. Conceivably, you could play 3, because we are playing 3 Desires in this deck. So you could play 3, because this is also a target for stuff like Chaos Space and whatnot. So yeah, 3 is possible. I decided on 2 to begin with. We'll play this guy. Now this isn't a must, but it can be useful because it can banish stuff in your end phase from the grave if you need to banish stuff. Like if you need to set up an Alistair play for the next turn or whatever. Also, you can add him back to the hand. He can drop himself on a BLS and boost it by 1500. So what you can do is you can make the Link BLS attack, boost it by 4500, and then attack again, and like, yeah, and then if they attack into it with like an access code or whatever, you can just drop this and bam, lots of damage. And then, so that's all the monsters. I play no hand traps in this deck. I test them out, and it feels like there are very few hand traps that actually work within it. I guess you could play, conceivably, you could play like Phantasme, Imperm, and Effect Railer, especially Effect Railer because it's a light. But I did not feel it was that great in the deck, but yeah, it's all up to testing. So what I do is I side Gamma instead, because Gamma is also a monster that cannot be normal summoned or set, so you can combo it with Chaos Space, or if necessary. So we play 3 Invocation. You want to hard draw this? Always play 3 Invocation in like every deck that plays Alistair. Almost, I think it's incorrect to play 2, especially if you're playing the next card that we are playing, which is Triple Desires. Of course, we'll play Triple Desires. This deck has no bricks, or rather no garnets, except for like the dragons, but those are not necessary for any combos. So you gotta play 3 Desires. It's broken. It's a pot of greed. Speaking of broken, I've said it before, I'm going to say it again. This card is busted, and it's what makes this viable, or this strategy semi-viable now. So, well, not viable, but it makes this the best version of Ritual BLS you can build. Can you say it pluses, it searches whatever you need? Shit's nuts, man. And then for our power one-offs, we have a Monster Reborn, Terraforming, Rhoda, Succession, and Foolish. Now, the only thing I think that are really mandatory here are these 2, or these ones should definitely go in the deck rather, because this one searches your Knights, and this one searches all your field spells, which is pretty neat. And after that, we move on to our ritual spells. We play 3 of the same one, Super Soldier Synthesis. This is the best one because you combo, so you send a light from your hand, you send a dark from the deck, and vice versa. And what you do is you send any light, or it says almost all your chaos monsters are level 4, except for BLS, and you're never gonna send that. You just send whatever you have in your hand, the light or the dark, and then you send the other knight from the deck. And then you can banish it from the grave with another chaos monster to get another effect, or banish it with Alistair to add more cards. So it makes the engine sort of self-sufficient. Now, you would think that BLS would be better going second, and well, that's probably true. You still have to resolve it going second. And if you're using, you have to dedicate so many of your cards to this one summon that it makes sense to do it as protected as possible. So this is why this deck is a going first variant. And then you have Meltdown. It's good. Searches Alistair, does stuff. And then the funny thing about this, Gateway of Chaos. Now, most people know this as the card you can set with set rotation on your opponent's side, so they can't use their field spell zone. Because, I mean, what are they going to do? Flip it? No, because they have to search a BLS. So nobody's going to be playing Ritual BLS, so well, what the fuck? Well, you can't flip it anymore. You're done. Now, the funny thing is, this is also good for the deck, because in this deck you want to search a Ritual BLS, so you have the option of either just setting this to your field, this to the opponent's field, flipping this, adding the BLS, doing BLS stuff, or you can set this to the opponent's side, put this on your side, and now they can't mine you. They can't mine you, they can't use Sky Striker field spells, they can't play Guru. It's sort of hilarious that that's a viable play in this deck, which is one of the funny interactions you can do. And then to end, we have one Book of the Law. So this is for OTK stuff, as well as doing spicy Caligo plays. And then set rotation, you can do the funny play I said before, plus it searches your field spells, and Cult. 3 Cult I think is good. And yeah, you want to be sort of hand trap resistant. Now for the extra, so for the Invoked monsters, we play 2 Mechaba. It's like the best Invoked monster. And with Chaos Space and the Chaos Dragons, you're going to be plussing a lot of the time, so he's usually viable. Then you have a Goidis. This one is good for OTK potential and stuff like that. Same with Purgatrio. And then you have Caliga. This one is good for lockdowns. This actually comes up a lot. Playing against stuff like Block BA or Head Emancipator and stuff, this comes up sort of a lot, so pretty good. And now let's move on to the links. So we play 1 Crusade Avermax. This combos really well with Caliga, so making like this going first is super strong, because they can't attack into your Caliga and they only have 1 monster effect. So if you're playing against something like Block BA or Dragon Link FTK, they can't really out this. So really good. Play a 1 BLS link. Fitting for the deck, right? So this basically says that Guru players can't win anymore. So if you summon this, it's GG for Guru. So, and stuff like Sword of Altergeist as well. So pretty good. Almirage, because it's Almirage. Wait, we were fucking up the order here, sorry, but that's fine. We can go with the link ones now, I guess. Almirage, you can also send the... So another play you can do is just summon one of like the Knights, link it off for Almirage, and then you can banish it with a Chaos Monster in the grave to search. So that's sort of a spicy play you can do with that. Also, of course, for allies. And at the same time, you can, of course, link the way to a secure Gardener. Now, I'm not sure if I want to cut this or not, because it's not... You usually have your light place anyway, but it makes the deck more consistently and on like at least one negate, so that's good. Cross Sheep. Cross Sheep is Cross Sheep. It's not amazing in this deck, I'm going to say that, because a lot of the stuff you put in your grave isn't going to be able to revive. It would be better going second, I imagine. So if you build a dedicated Go second version, which I might do, this would probably be a lot better because you're going to have more hand traps in the grave and probably be able to summon back those. So decent, not amazing. And so IMO, the better one is this guy right now, so Huster. So basically you can make Mecha Buff plus a Kaliga really easily and then set up turn with OTK your next turn and stuff like that. So this is really good for the deck, I think. You're playing one Phoenix and one Unicorn as well. And those are just for like removal, generic removal. The only thing I would change with the extra is probably add a IP Masquerena, which you can make a sort of almost completely invincible Aura Max. So you can just win out of pure just win factor. It's just insane. But yeah, I think this deck overall is pretty... Okay, I'm gonna be honest, it's not great. Not because I think my build is wrong or incorrect. I think that just the cards are old. This is an old card. It was designed a longer time ago, and it's a casual card. So while it does have some impressive feats if you can pull it off, managing to pull it off is sort of difficult. So you can like play this at locals, but I would never take this to a bigger tournament without resolving the issues of consistency and going first and second power level. And yeah, I think if you compare this to something like Mech Knight Invoked or Shaddoll Invoked, this is clearly the worst Invoke variant. But I think if you compare it to other BLS variants, this is definitely the correct version to play. And that was my aim with this deck, is to recreate one of my favorite decks of all time, and the first deck that I ever played in Yu-Gi-Oh! So thank you. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you liked my sort of spicy profile here. Stay tuned for more stuff. There is definitely more coming, including some goat stuff and some mermail stuff. So yeah, have a good one. Peace.